too strong, and they have now come together to rebuild Boyo County so it can be strong as it was before. We wish you all well with that endeavor, and I hope that today will be a very profitable day for you for Boyo County. With that said, I will either hand over to the chairman of Boyo, to the interim chair of Boyo, or if the president is in the house, I will invite Mr. Paditar to usher the president in with the national anthem. Thank you very much.
While our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics.
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big, while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Amazonia die as a wish, because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The war draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
The Amber War Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we drop. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort while our brave restoration forces?
Let me say at once that following the crisis that we had, the only chairperson of AJ that remained was me, this speaker, and so I could. We have some prominent people from all the LGAs who can say 1 or 2 things. I will call Honorable N.S. Timge, member of the House, for that's for Fundo, Ginicom, Nawai Florence. Sorry, Nawai Bobe Kashen is in the House. He can say something. Nawai Florence can also say something. For Bello, Bobby Cletus is there. He will say something. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. If you could call them up in turn, please, in the order that you prefer.
I thought you said they will speak later after the president.
Okay, right, that's fine. Comrade Padi, are you in? Ready?
Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us our freedom. Allow me to acknowledge my Vice President of Ambazonia, Mr. Eric Ate, the Speaker of the Interim House of Representatives, Dr. Winnie Lubati, and my special presidential entourage. My dear friend, Dr. Nge Toya, Deputy Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, one of the finest pillars in this government. The Boyo County Coordinator, Bobe Peter Mba, thank you for your kind words. IHR representatives for Boyo, Bobe Cheng Laban Fundong, Bobe Enes Timge, Ginicom, and all other defense executives of Boyo. Dear people of the great county of Boyo, my fellow Ambazonians, it is an honor for me to be amongst you once more in the land that bore Ambazonia's finest forebear and statesman, the Right Honorable Augustine Gomjoa. His political astuteness and revolutionary awareness reawakened our people after the 1961 fiasco that led us into this unholy cohabitation with La République du Cameroon. The journey to Boyo is likened to a pilgrim or a pilgrimage to the land whose sons and daughters' blood served as the foundation mortar upon which the earlier bricks of this liberation phase were buried for a sacrifice. The earlier martyrs like Sam Soya and all the innocent civilians in Boyo whose blood was shed by La République du Cameroon's genocidal thugs at the initial period of this liberation phase, we honor you. We also pay homage to valiant heroes from Boyo like General Amigo and the brave Ambazonia Restoration Forces of this county, who mounted a bare-knuckle insurgence against the sophisticated occupation army even before we could organize financial resources in the diaspora to support them. Their raw courage during the early stages formulated our resolve, dictated our trajectory, and sealed our destiny as the never again generation that will surely liberate our people. Let us pay tribute to them and all our forces and civilians in Boyo County, whose blood has watered the tree of our collective freedom. A moment, please. May they all continue to rest in power, assured that we will never give up till we cross the finish line. Great sons and daughters of Boyo, people of Fundong, Ginicom, Belo, and Bom local government areas. I will start by congratulating the new leadership of Boyo County, which was formally put in place just a week ago. I know where your heart is, and I'm confident you will guide the revolutionary ship of Boyo County with dexterity. For the outgoing leadership, I want to tell you thank you for your service to motherland. Your tenure was an open classroom for the new leadership. I now challenge your faith as a collective to do better for the good of our endeavor. No one doubts how committed the people of Boyo are vis-a-vis our liberation struggle. When the evil waves of the coup plotters virus hit us all, most of you approached their lies and manipulation as another wave of distraction, and with reason and caution. You stood by the truth and supported your interim government. Thank you. Even when differences arose amongst you, you did not throw the kitchen sink at each other. You used common sense communication, and dialogue as conduits for resolving those issues in a spirit of patriotism and reconciliation. Today, Boyo stands stronger and taller as a template for other counties and local government areas to use when in crisis. Thank you, great people of Boyo, for showing the rest of Amazonia what it means to always put country above all self-interests. Once more, we are gathered tonight to support our brave warriors, the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, as they continue to resist La République du Cameroon barbarism on our people. We are here tonight to draft. Let us do it with pride, honor, and dignity, knowing that our sacrifice is relatively minuscule compared to our innocent sons and daughters, brothers and sisters facing the enemy's bullets daily. With more than 45,000 compatriots falling since this war was declared on us in 2017, millions trapped as IDPs and refugees, thousands in dungeons or forcefully disappeared, how then can we relent? How can we ignore the realities of the bloody streets of Boyo and the charred skeletons of the once vibrant villages in Boyo razed by dictator Biya's barbaric genocidal squad? Oh, we cannot, will not, and should never forget. Dear diasporans or Boyoans in the diaspora, let us borrow a leaf from the patience and resilience of our people in the home front. Despite their enormous sacrifices in the face of the genocidaires, they haven't given up. What then is our excuse? When we called on them recently to sacrifice 3 more days of lockdown in order to send an unequivocal message to slave master Macron of France, who came visiting his proxy in neighboring La République du Cameroon, our people in the home front, especially in Boyo, followed the directives of their interim government. You showed the world that we have taken charge of our destiny and that we are ready to give our all for the liberation of Amazonia. You told Mr. Macron that even if a lizard were thrown into the river, it will never become a crocodile. That Amazonia was not and is not and will never be part of any secret colonial accords he came to Yaoundé to enforce. I call on you, compatriots in the diaspora and friends of the resistance here present, to follow in the footsteps of our resilient people in the home front and contribute generously during the draft tonight. Someone has said he did not redeem his draft to Boyo County 2 years ago because the IG does not share her collections with other groups. But since no armed group in Amazonia does that in this struggle, why didn't he simply share his donation to the groups he recognizes and also give to the ARFs and the IG the share he thinks we deserve, so that Amazonians don't think it was a calculated pretext to do nothing for the resistance? Such Amazonians or Boyoans must do more to be trusted as delegates to champion negotiations to resolve an armed conflict they are not associated with. Drafting today is not just a civic responsibility that every bona fide Southern Cameroonian should participate in. It is what enlists us on the team of active liberators and civilian auxiliaries to our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Drafting changes you from a stakeholder to an actor, if you know what that means. Everyone is a stakeholder, but it is the actors that will liberate Amazonia against a ruthless genocide. The draft is also our token of humanitarian support to our wounded warriors, the sick, the hungry, and suffering people devastated by this senseless war. There's no doubt now where our people rely for leadership in this liberation struggle. The 30 days lockdown called by the enemy contractors, masking as liberators among us, has clarified any iota of doubt that our people may have still harbored concerning what we already knew. How can we say it is the long arm of coincidence that an unprecedented and meaningless month-long lockdown is declared by some pseudo-revolutionaries who are noted for nothing more than kidnapping, ransom collection, and targeting of our genuine Ambazonian restoration forces? At the very moment that Yaoundé genocidal regime is doubling down on their failed strategy of massacring our innocent civilians and placing guns on their bodies. And just days to the start of the purported lockdown, dozens of manipulated fighters convening at the ADF criminal hideout in Batibo are summarily rounded up by their French Cameroon field collaborators. Let's take it a little further by connecting the dots. Was that lockdown, that planned gathering, and the massacre a scheme by Ayabacho and his desperate hirers in La République du Cameroon to create the illusion that La République du Cameroon has succeeded to restore normalcy in Ambazonia through the military option, especially as September is approaching? After the FMA fluke, this other wicked ruse is supposed to lend French Cameroon a narrative to take to the United Nations Security Council meeting next month that their military option to resolve the conflict has paid off. La République du Cameroon wants to buy more time from the impatient international community so they can continue with their refusal to negotiate a political solution to the conflict. Shame on those blue and white traitors who have chosen to trade the destiny of our people for the reward of cowries stained with the blood of our martyrs. Thank you once more, great people in the home front, for listening to your interim government and shattering the diabolic plan by the enemy to impose a lockdown and punish our people as they continue their genocide on us. Your revolutionary IQ in the home front, I can testify, is better than those of all these betrayers and compromised hoodlums who pass for liberators. Dear valiant Ambazonian Restoration Forces in Boyo, I have said time and again that unity with any group of individuals not fighting the same enemy as you has no merit. Our experience in the past 1 year affirms that we have lost more soldiers through the activities of armed infiltrators who joined our ARFs under the guise of unity than we have in the war front. Thank you, valiant ARFs of Boyo County, for holding your fort despite many challenges. The enemy tested your courage at the beginning of this liberation war, and you showed them what you are made of. Many have fallen along the way, no doubt, but you are still standing, never to give up. You have had the painful misfortune of being home to some renegade mini-armed groups specialized in extortion and kidnapping for ransom, and also criminals flying amber colors who have compromised or have been compromised by anti-patriotic Ambazonians in the diaspora and CPDM slave masters in the home front to kill our genuine restoration forces. You have lost a few of our heroes to these brutes, but let me assure you that it will not happen anymore in Boyo County. In the beginning, we had multitudes of untested IDPs who simply congregated in bushes by survival instincts. Many were killed without ever handling a gun. Today, the hardship of war has filtered your ranks, such that those we have now fighting La Republic are tested warriors, 20 times more skilled and deadlier in the war front. They average in experience more than most of the 6-month trained La Republic soldiers deployed in Ambazonia. They can do great exploits with very little we put in their hands. We shall and we should stand with all these genuine Ambazonia restoration forces fighting our enemy. Everyone who is not a pain to our people, everyone who is not targeting our fellow or their fellow Ambazonia restoration forces for elimination, and everyone who pays allegiance to these interim government structures, we will stand with you. You are the ones we are going to fund. If we cannot hold you accountable, we will not fund you, because the Ambazonians will also hold us accountable. Because he who is not under authority cannot be trusted with power. Thank you once more, brave ones. After my discussion yesterday with one of our generals here in Boyo, I can tell you we all know what they need. And we should be ready as financial warriors to assist them. Our ARFs in Boyo, under your new county leadership, please, to continue building on our national strategic security plan that was rolled out 2 years ago. Let us provide the needed support for our courageous heroes in the trenches to assure those who bravely uphold our liberation creed as their daily banner in Boyo that we will uphold our end of the agreement until our motherland is liberated, as long as they continue to resist La République du Cameroon's barbarism in this beautiful country. Let's do it again once more tonight. Dear Ambazonians, all of you, those still to recover from the Cooper's flu, the doubting Thomases of our liberation, those I will term the Dawonatin group, all who may have expected victory within a couple of months after we started, those who are probably fed up with the muddying of the waters by anti-nationalists, all who are distressed by the torment our people are going through, especially the wanton killings of our innocent citizens by La République du Cameroon genocidal military. You have a reason to be depressed, but you should understand that it is not by retiring now that freedom will come. Talking and posting, liking or sharing posts on social media alone, trying to buy, is like, if that's all you do, it is like trying to buy an aircraft with chicken change. If that's all we do, then we are deceiving ourselves that we love our people. Our journey to freedom will be decided by us, not by our adversary, not certainly by one Cameroon demagogues under the guise of special institutions and the beggars of federalism. Let us therefore double down on our determination to fight against this genocide on our people by making sure that our ARFs who are in the front lines have the necessary equipment to defend our vulnerable population and confront the occupying genocidal thugs in our homeland. There is one formula that makes the difference. It is called the draft. Draft now. Apart the draft, what has the naysayers given us as a workable alternative? We cannot bury our heads in a sand of insults, hoping to escape the realities of our deserted villages. We must arise. We cannot throw ourselves behind the selfish arguments sold to us by the agents of the occupier and avoid taking responsibility for our political salvation in our generation. We must arise now. We cannot crown our minds with emotional appeals such as, "We have suffered enough, let peace return, our people are dying," just to subdue our logic of sacrifice for lasting peace and justice in Ambazonia. We must arise now. We cannot listen to the noise from empty cymbals on social media all day and expect to conquer the forces behind our existential threat by night. We are the miracle makers Ambazonia needs to triumph, and we must show it now. We cannot allow those who have buried their nostrils to the favors of the French Cameroon's Bongo Chobi to corrupt our appetite for independence. While I am still speaking, please take up your other phone and invite your family members and friends. Remind them about this important patriotic endeavor of drafting to defend our nation as a responsibility given to the strong and the living to protect and save the lives of our kindreds in the course of this senseless war declared on us by Paul Biya. The daunting journey to freedom can be expensive and long. Comparatively, what we have achieved, though, within 5 years of the reignition of our liberation quest and 2 years into the draft is remarkable amidst the blood that has been shed. Could it have been otherwise? Could it have been a smooth ride to Boya with no hurdles, with no deaths, no betrayals, no disagreements, no hunger, and no suffering? No. Therefore, to those who doubt the progress of our enterprise, let them just look at how long we have come from 5 years ago. The Swiss-led process is still here and is alive and well. The people, our ARLs, are now the masters of their terrain. We still lock down and open our territory when we decide. We are now in charge of our destiny more than when we started. Those who think otherwise should go and ask the colonial dog governor in Boya, Mr. Okalia Nalaiman, who infamously called us dogs in 2017, who just recently thought the disappearance of the FM of the BLM was a beaten path to normalcy in that county. He was openly humiliated and shocked this week in the BLM by an unwelcoming population who despised him by their conspicuous absence during a purported reinstallation of the SDO of the BLM. This exemplifies the resilience of our people and tells you beyond the propaganda of La République du Cameroon who really is in control in Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, we have come a long way. We have journeyed together. The distance we have covered is far longer than the distance ahead of us on our way to Boya. Let us continue in the spirit of determination and endurance. Let's not give up. Let us emulate the resilience and grit shown by our ARFs and compatriots in the home front. Let us draft as if this year is our last lap to the finish line of this liberation marathon. This generation's assignment is precise and well defined. It is to finish the unfinished devoir of a great son of your county and venerable statesman of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, the Right Honorable Augustine Gomjoa. The choice is ours to uphold his legacy. We have taken the challenge. Let us continue that challenge tonight by drafting generously. Let the 2022 draft for Boyo County commence. Viva the great people of Boyo County. Viva the brave Amazonian Restoration Forces, and viva our beautiful country, the Federal Republic of Amazonia. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Oh yeah.
President.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ayomani, Mr. President, Ayomani. Ayomani.
Yo, yongane, yo, yongane.
Ayomani, Mr.
Yongane, 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 yongane.
Hey, Bobby. Bobby, President.
Bobby. Bobby Sanya. Kati, kati, oh, kati, kati. Kati, kati. I tell you.
If there's any Boyo mic here or out there, they should be jumping in here to do something, because
that's true.
Our Papa Augustine Gomjoa didn't fight this fight for us to continue 10th generation. We have to finish it now and here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well spoken. Thank you so much. Our BN fight, we all heard you. Yes, all heard you. We're gonna meet everybody. I'm sorry, yeah. Thank you so much. I was just saying that without much ado, we all know the purpose for which we are here tonight. And like the president said, if you don't see anybody here that you know should be here or that can do something to push this revolution forward, please, either you are already on that phone call or you should pick up your phone now. While you're doing that, I'm going to hand over to our able resource mobilization, who is no other but our able Ma Irene and Nijo. Let us all give them a round of applause for the wonderful job they have been doing in this revolution. Thank you so much and welcome, Ma Irene. Welcome, Nijo. Thank you guys for everything you do. Over to you.
Thank you, Ma Gladys. Thank you, Kombe. Thank you, Ma Gladys. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, for that great speech. We are so honored to be in Boyo today. Kombe.
Kombe, I'm here. Just waiting for you to say hello to Ambazonians and then
Okay, all right. Anyway, fellow Ambazonians,
we can't hear you, Myri.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Ambazonians, we are so, you can hear me? Is it better?
It's better, but you have echoes. I don't know whether you have to.
1 second. No, I don't think so. 1 second. Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Ade, Eminem, welcome. I was just saying, fellow Ambazonians, all protocols in the House duly respected. We are so thankful, so honored to be given another opportunity to be drafting today. Mr. President, that was a great speech. And Boyo, you have worked so hard. We've been working really, really hard, and I'm so proud of all the work you've done in the background. The president said it all. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody from Boyo. I just called 2 people and I drafted at least $100. It's better than nothing. I'm begging each and every one of us. Ambazonia Bobo, I'm not sure if you heard the Boyo people thanked you for your generous contribution, and all of you that your name were mentioned here. We just want to say thank you again to all of us. All of us. So if your name wasn't highlighted, it doesn't stop that you are not a hero. I know they're going to be talking about the baskets. Kombi is already twisting his hand. I just want to make sure you know one thing. Somebody said last week, the president be asking for beg money, and my response was, yeah, I'm here to beg money. I am not ashamed to beg, because if all of us were contributing this money, we would not be doing what we're doing begging. So it's very shameful that we are begging to support our own people, but we will continue to beg until we reach Boya. So for all of you who chipped in something into the president's basket, I just want to say thank you. Because as we are drafting Boyo, somebody has not been drafted. And La Republique is changing their game. I could talk now if you be any Ambazonia restoration course when I hear for home front. When I say the devil they don't stand for not for with area, it's immediately work I will food me them pack all their moto. It's saying for food they go the worker. Even if it take 4 days for worker for reach for Fundong over reach for Bello, they go work now with food and then they go find one. So me wanna be very careful, please. When I don't hear president, we know one come we all man don't die. We want meet up una, we celebrate together. So una be very careful. And the people of Boyo, I don't find some truth. They say they'll be sending money for some site. I realize they'll not be sending them for somebody. Thank God they come out Fundong, so I would introduce them for Magladys. It's not about Dr. Sako. You don't really have to like him because I think he's doing an excellent job for the people of Amazonia. But if you call yourself a so-called leader in this revolution, it's not talk. Talk is cheap. The voices in the bushes, as your master Atanganji calls them, they do eat. They need things. And Atanganji, if you're watching us, we'll take your contribution because you went to school in Boyo. Even though they fire you because you were so dull and so heady. Yes, yes. He was fired in Pomti because he was so dumb and so.
To the school.
Yes, but he was fired. They've dismissed him because the man be dull plenty and he be strong head. So, but if I tell you, we will take our money today. So anybody who want give you money today, we will take our, we will pray, we will anoint the money and then we will use them because and our money. So thank you so much, Nijo. Makombe, I'm so ready today. Today is a battlefield for you, so I'm so ready to kick off.
Yeah, thank you, and greetings to the entire Amazonia community and all house protocol duly respected. And we're here in Boyo, the Hilly County, And talking about baskets, I think it would be a mistake not to put a basket for St. Bede's College Ashincom, or to put another basket for Afuocom, or to put another basket for Bobejua, you know, put another basket. I can go on and on and on and on. And deservedly, these names deserve to have some baskets to keep us going. So let us turn to the people who matter, the people of Boyo, to see which are the baskets that settled. And of course, we know the one that the name is very difficult is the stabilization basket, the president's basket, stability basket, everything. We know that one is there for sure. Which is the next one, or which are the next ones? Bobby Peter, Mark Gladys, Maflo, are you there? We will need to hear from you.
We haven't gotten Joa basket, of course. Can't leave him out. He's our pillar.
Okay.
Very significant.
Yeah, that is the reference point. And the other basket, we may not call it St. Bede's. It will say St. Bede's. KBTC people may say, okay, St. Bede's. So it is the alma mater basket.
That's the word, alma mater.
Alma mater basket.
Okay.
And then
mater.
before we dive into it, may I have one or two dignitaries from Boyo to say one thing? If just 2 minutes, please. Just agree. Have Chairman Cashier.
Yeah, but can we just finish with the baskets, please, Chairman?
Okay.
So that when we go to your dignitaries, we don't have to come back to baskets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for baskets, we will combine Bobejua and alma mater for one basket, right? If we agree, we can move on.
No, I didn't
You
think
want to
it
make
was
them separate baskets?
The alma mater may.
Yes, please, separate.
I think.
If we want to combine that with the alma mater with some soya.
Alma mater, St. Bede's and K something.
Right.
Combined.
KBTC.
KBTC and St. Bede's combined.
There's also a GSS. A lot of people went to GHS Fundong too.
So how about all the alma maters in Fundong? Please, we need our time back.
That's what we're combining. Just general alma mater.
Okay, alma mater, all the schools.
Yes.
Combined. Okay. So that makes 3 baskets: stabilization of President's basket, Bobejua Ngom, and alma mater. That's it.
We had a some, except where they don't want that many baskets.
I think that we don't need too many baskets. We can combine the Samsoya and Gomjoa basket. Too many baskets.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, Gomjoa and the rest are the heroes. So
yes.
Let's honor them all.
2 heroes and then the alma mater. Absolutely.
Okay.
And then the stabilization.
And the stabilization. Yeah.
Okay. So you have the heroes
I
basket.
think we have to really we have really agreed on the basket.
We already did that, Bobby. All we agreed are there. Gomjoa, Samsoya is, and then the alma mater one, and then stabilization, 3 baskets. We have
okay, done. Okay, Magla, you can bring your dignitaries. Agreed. So 3 baskets, President's basket, the Matthias baskets, which is Joa and Soya, and then alma mater. Okay?
That was our main basket.
County, of course, Boyo as a county, yeah.